So without being a pick me, I now can say that I don't have friends. I do not have any friends. And I don't mean it in a, like, as that's why I said pick me. I don't mean it in a, oh, I don't have any friends way, like, oh, I don't have any friends. I think these days it's kind of popular to say I don't have any friends. It's a cool thing to say I don't have any friends, or I even to say I don't need anybody, which I wouldn't go as far to say that I don't need anybody around me, but it's true that I don't have any friends. And today the reason why this thought is now again in my head is because I just came from school right now, and I'm not a teenager anymore, so I don't go to regular school. I'm in a traineeship system, and that means my school is specifically based on on the job that I'm now learning in my traineeship. So it's not a regular school. You could say it's a trainee school, maybe. It's not a high school or something like that, or I don't know, but it's not a regular school. So it's a trainee school, and the class teachers, they like to say it's my third time being in a trainee school. I've changed my traineeships a few times, and now I am in one that I'm really confident about that job and about that career and future. But they like to say this is not regular, it's adult school, and therefore there are different expectations on us, but also different expectations I have for myself. So when I say, oh, I don't have any friends and that I just came from school, it's not like your regular high school picture where I'm alone in my, I don't know, in the eating room or something. 2 days in a week I'm at work, and the other 3 days I am in school. So it's different. We are not there to socialize. There's a different goal in mind that they have for people when they are in an adult school or trainee school versus in a normal school. So it's kind of normal for me to say I don't have any friends, especially in school, since I'm not going to a regular school. But as I said, I just came back from school, and then I thought about it. I thought about it in school because I always knew that I have difficulties in keeping friends. I always knew that. Especially if I look my friend history back, I didn't keep any of the friends I had in my whole life. Many of them for good reason, and some of them, like actually all of them for good reason. Also, when they decided to not be friends with me anymore, I would put this into a good reason, because everything I went through with every single one of my friends built my character. And as I said, even if they decided that they don't want to be friends with me anymore, it's good, because therefore I was able to get to know my flaws in a way too. But now that I'm in school, and I know it's different because we are not in a regular school, it's a trainee school, I still see that difficulty for me to have superficial friendships or even superficial connections. I think the exact moment I had the thought, that thought of, oh, I really do not have any friends, not even in school in general, was when I watched two girls in my class, and they were sitting next to each other and talking while the teacher was teaching us, like math. But the point is, they were just talking, and I think they were also talking about private things. And then I look to the other side, and I see other people talking, and they seem not only to connect, but to like each other. And I don't have this instant connection with anybody, and I don't think a lot of people have it with me. So yeah, that's just something. When it comes to school, I realize I'm not that person that has superficial relationships, and I'm also not a person that can engage in an environment or even in relationships that are meant to be in school only, in a way. I tend to then not at all try to have any real relationships. I do talk to people in school, and I have my little group, but every single, especially that one girl that is in my group, it's superficial. And not even superficial, because I talk with her about my issues of having superficial relationships, and we both do not look for any deeper connection than being colleagues. We all learn the same job. We all go into the same career direction. But as I said, there's no intention of having real connections. But even though I knew that this is my goal, that is my goal before I went into school, it's still kind of, bombing to sit there and to realize, well, I really don't have any connections. Like, I'm a really talkative and open and social person, so that means from the outlook, I am engaging with people and I am engaging into the class dynamic for sure. I think nobody in class would say, "Oh no, that girl, she's always quiet. That girl, she's with nobody." Nobody could make that observation because objectively that's not the case. But if you go into it a little deeper, I am by myself, and that's totally okay. It's actually totally okay. Today when I went home, I appreciated the fact that I just stayed in my lane, because there was a time where I had difficulties in being by myself. Partly because I didn't like myself, but mostly because I was scared that this would be seen and just recognized as me being by myself. And for some reason, I felt kind of weird about it. I never really want to be, seen negatively. But in that specific case, I think I was kind of scared to be the odd one out in a way. Especially in the past, when I was younger. Now there are many more reasons as to why it's really important for me to learn to be by myself. Not only because I'm learning and developing a big liking for myself, but also because I never was by myself. So I really want to learn this and to feel this comfortability. But let's put this fact of not having friends out of school and out of that environment, because it can sound silly, like you are not in school, even in high school. You're not, well, I don't think that's true. Based on pedagogics, I don't know how to say it in English, but based on the science of how people grow up, I do think there is one part of schooling dedicated to have friends and to build connections. But especially in this like adult school I'm in right now, it's not necessarily that the goal. So let's put this fact away from school and back into like not reality necessarily, but into my private life. And a year ago, I think I would have already said I don't have any friends, but that would have been a lie, because I did had 2 friends. But in this year, I let them go, because I saw them, like I realized they weren't necessarily healthy for me, because even them too. I think that's the reason why I would have said last year already I don't have any friends, even though the contact just broke down in this year, is because there was no reconnection. Especially that one friend, she's a little younger than me. I've known her for like 3 years, but there was never a reconnection. There was never a common ground. And even like as you maybe can tell, I'm a little, I like to go into things a little deeper. I like to talk, and not even that. I don't think any of my friends have a problem with that, but I like to think. I like to discuss. Can you go and not step? No, do not step on it. Thank you. But it just wasn't a deep relationship. But it was enough for me. It was enough. Up until a certain point, it was totally enough. It just developed this year into a person that says, well, actually it's not enough. And that's it. The other friend, I've known her for a long time. I've known her for, I don't know, 6-7 years, like since I'm, not that long actually, but since I'm now older, it is long, but I've known her since I was 16. And I do like her. I do like that one. But even we both, like, it's not necessarily a problem for me, because I am loving in that way. But I was the one, or not even I was. It's not something that I'm guilt tripping her about, or that I'm even mad about. It's just a fact. I was always writing her. The friendship was coming from me. I think in a way that's her character, but at the same time, when I see what the things she did this year, getting married, for example, I don't really know if that's her character of not reaching out, because it seems like she does reach out to people, but not necessarily to me, which it is what it is. But like, how can I say then that we are friends? Like, I need to take this a little more serious. And there is a meaning, I like to say, and it is, why shall God send you a good friend if you just have if you only have bad friends around yourself. And then there's the other one that everybody knows. Tell me who your friends are, and I'm gonna tell you who you are. So if I say all my friends around me are bad, what does that say about me? So I saw it as an unnecessary package. I saw them both as that this year. With the friend I had the shorter relationship with, it wasn't as difficult. And actually, there were a few things that made or like contributed into my decision to not invest in this relationship anymore. But the other one, like the reason, there was no reason. There was a reason, but there was no thing that she did. It's just something I cannot go around and say, oh, those are my friends, if we don't behave like that. And why shall I have you around me as influence, as a part of myself? Because friends are a part of you, especially if they are really your friends and you see them as such. Why shall I keep this unnecessary and also unhealthy package around me? So I cleaned myself. I did clean myself. And in this whole year, I did clean myself. And yeah, that's all. I do not have friends. I don't have them in class. I don't have them privately. I love my sister. I love my family. I love God. And I have a boyfriend. Maybe that's also something that other people with many friends don't have. So it's not like that I'm alone in life. But I do. And I always did. Because I never had, I would say I never really had friends. But, I don't know if I can say this because I'm a really social person. I always was around people. But I was around. So, there's also a part that knows, like, another thing I would say about me is that I never had a best friend. That I would say for sure. To say I never had friends, back then with 14, 15, I would have denied that perspective of saying I don't have any friends, because when I was that age, they were my friends. But now that I'm an adult, I know that weren't friendships. That's something I know now. But even when I was a child, not a child, but younger, I knew that I don't have this classic best friendship. Because I would say if you ask the best friends I had in life, I don't think they saw me as a best friend. They saw me as a good friend for sure, I think. That would be a lie to like let a person call you their best friend, but you don't even like them, or you are not friends. I do think they saw me as a good friend, but not as a best friend. And I always wanted this position. I know I wanted this. I always wanted to be special for them and to be, because they were for me. Can you go? My cat. I still don't have, I never really experienced this, which I do still think and believe that I will meet a person that we connect with, like we connect and they appreciate me for me and I appreciate them for them. I guess I do have standards these days to make it come to this point, but I would like to have friends. I would like to have a friend group as well. I would like to have this. I don't think I will have that ideal where you take your friend group from your teens into your 20s, into your 30s. I'm already in my 20s, so I will not have any people from my teens. But I still hope that I will meet people and that we connect to, because it's not worth it to have friends for having friends. It's not worth it to have friends for the sake of having friends. I want to have friends because we really are friends.